What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. I want to thank all of you guys who have subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me. All right, guys. Now, my 2019 Highlander, I love it. We've had it for over a year now. We bought it brand new. It's mainly my wife's car. She's the one that drives it. But about a couple months ago, we decided to go on a little family trip about 5 hours outside of town. Well, about 40 minutes outside of town, this thing was making some weird highway noise. It sounded like a loose trim panel or plastic coming from underneath the car. It was driving us nuts. Anyways, I pulled over to several gas stations, figuring I could see something loose underneath the car, underneath the hood, because it sounded like it was coming from the front, and it was pretty loud once you got above 70 miles an hour. This thing was driving me crazy. I could not figure out what that noise was, and it seemed to make it even worse whenever there was another car in front of you and there was a lot of crosswinds. It was crazy. I mean, I could not figure it out. So I took this thing to the dealer a couple times, and I knew they would tell me that they couldn't find nothing wrong with it because it doesn't do it all the time, which is the crazy part. So I knew trying to figure out a noise that a car does not all the time is one of the hardest things to find. So I knew they were not going to find what was wrong with it. I was kind of hoping they were, because I couldn't find nothing wrong with it. Well, the other day I took my son to a birthday party, and this thing was making the noise even worse on the highway. But now it actually sounded like it was coming from the roof. Kind of made me think, well, maybe it's the roof bars, or maybe it's the roof rack. So I got home, and sure enough, what do you know, I could tell a difference on the roof racks. So these are the factory Toyota roof bars that came from the dealer. Now, I don't know if you can tell on this camera, but if you can see, there's actually a little bit of a gap compared to all the rest. This side is definitely not sitting as flush as the other sides. When I grab this bar here, it kind of mimics the same noise that I'm hearing inside the car. You hear that? This one's definitely looser, and the backside is really sturdy. So I'm actually gonna take these covers off and see if I can readjust these and get rid of that gap there, because it's definitely noticeable on that passenger side. I don't know how many of you guys have this in your guys' glove box, but mine actually does. It came with the, I guess, the hardware and the factory install kit and everything you need to do to remove these and reinstall them. So that's what I'm going to use to kind of retighten them back up and loosen them up. So let's see what it does. Pop these covers off. All right, guys. So what I found out is that once I loosened this up, it was rocking back and forth. I just had to turn this like this, because it's not a square, it's an actual like rectangle. So it was actually facing the wrong way, and now it doesn't move back and forth. It's actually flat. So they had it wrong. They had it like this versus like this. So it was installed wrong. So now we can just retighten everything back up. Okay. Also, guys, you're gonna want to get a Torx 25 like this one right here, and you're gonna want to also tighten the 2 screws that are on the bottom of the roof rack there. As you guys can see right there, there's gonna be 2 screws right next to each other. There's 2 there, and there's gonna be 2 on the opposite side and on the back. So you want to make sure those are tight as well, because those can come loose and also cause the bar to make noise. I can actually grab this. It's pretty tight, guys. It's not making any noise, and it's flush, so that should fix it. Only way to find out is to go drive it and let you guys know.
I'm gonna cut your tires out.
That's not
Yeah. That's bonkers.
All right, guys. So I think the noise is fixed. It's been about a month now since I've removed the nerd bars and retightened them up and made sure everything was installed correctly, like it should. And my wife has been kind of listening for the noise as well, because she drives it mainly, and she says she hasn't heard anything from there. So I want to say it's fixed. I drove it a couple times and I haven't heard anything, guys. I think it's done. It's fixed. So if you guys are having the same issue, check those nerd bars. Make sure they're installed correctly, and make sure the screws on the bottom are tight, and that should fix your problem. If you guys are having any other issues, please hit me up. Put them in the comments below. I'll see what I can do, see what I can find. And like I said, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one.